Hello students, this is Stanza here. Okay, so today I'm here with a new interesting poem. Okay, the name of the poem is The Dog and the Kangaroo, and it is written by the famous poet. His name is Edward Lear. Is that clear? Basically, the poem The Dog and the Kangaroo is an interesting and humorous poem. It describes the friendship between the dog and the kangaroo. So in a poem, dog, he lived in a small pond and was bored of his life. So he wished to take the round of entire world, but was not able to do so. And he was impressed with the ability of kangaroo, the hopping ability of the kangaroo, and he requested the kangaroo to take him right around the world. At last, kangaroo, with a condition, with a condition, accepted his request, and the wish of the dog was fulfilled. Is that clear? So the poem conveys the true friendship between the dog and the kangaroo. The poem also personified with the message that human beings should be like the dog and the kangaroo. That means should be cooperative and should build a friendship like the dog and the kangaroo. So this is the central idea of this poem. Okay. Okay, students. So now we will start the poem "The Dog and the Kangaroo," written by Edward Lear. So the first stanza, the poet writes: "Said the dog to the kangaroo, 'Good gracious, how you hop over the fields and the water too, as if you never could stop. My life is a bore in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in this world beyond. I wish I could hop like you,' said the dog to kangaroo." Now in this stanza, the poet describes the talk between a dog and his friend kangaroo. The dog told his friend kangaroo that he was amazed at his ability to hop over the fields and the water bodies. He says that hopping appears to be never ending. That's why the dog further said that he had been bored with his life in the pond. So he had a strong desire to go out to the world that lies behind the pond. And further, he expressed his inability to hop like the kangaroo. Due to his inability, thus the dog was very sad. Is that clear? Now in the second stanza, "Please give me a ride on your back," said the dog to the kangaroo. "I would sit quite still and see nothing but quack the whole of the long day through, and we would go to the Dee and the Jelly Boldy. Over the land and over the sea, please take me a ride, or do," said the dog to kangaroo. Now in this stanza, the poet further elaborates the conversation between the dog and the kangaroo. So the dog is requesting kangaroo to allow him to have a ride on his back to see the whole world. He further added that he would sit still, say nothing except quack. He will just say quack. Now here quack means the sound made by a dog. Is that clear? Throughout the day they would visit many places which are beautiful and pleasing. Is that clear? They had planned to go over the fields and over the seas. The dog wished to go and imaginative places. The name of the places are Dee and the Jelly Boldy. Remember, in this stanza, the poet mentioned the two places. Dee and Jelly Boldy. So these are the imaginative places. Saying all this, the dog again put the request before the kangaroo to allow him a ride on his back. Is that clear? Now, in third stanza, said the kangaroo to the duck, this requires some little reflection, perhaps on the whole it might bring me luck, and there seems but one objection, which is, if you will let me speak so bold, your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold, and would probably keep me the rue, but it said the kangaroo. Now, in third stanza, poet has come up with the reply of kangaroo for the request made by the dog. Now you can see, so it is the reply from the kangaroo to the dog. Okay, so now the continuous request of the dog forced the kangaroo to accept it finally. The kangaroo thought that journey may bring good fortune to him. The kangaroo told dog that there is need a sunlight so that there may be an ease in making the journey possible and favorable. But, okay, kangaroo put an objection, one objection before the dog, saying that he would state that his objection if the dog allowed him to say so. Okay, now what is the objection made by the kangaroo? Is the objection kangaroo was unpleasantly wet and cold feet of the dog. So that was the objection of the kangaroo. If the kangaroo allowed the dog with the cold feet to ride his back, okay, then he might catch cold for the sure. So this was the objection made by the kangaroo. The kangaroo thus put his objection very clearly in front of duck. Is that clear? Now stanza 4. Said the dog, as I said, sat on the rocks. I have thought over that completely, and I bought 4 pairs of roasted socks, which fit my web feet neatly. And to keep out that cold, I have bought a cloak, and every day a cigar I will smoke, all to follow my own dear true love of a kangaroo. Now, in this stanza, in stanza 4, the stanza described the situation after the objection of the kangaroo to keep a ride on his back. The dog came up with its solution. Okay, now dog was already prepared with the solution. He told kangaroo that he had thought about it in details. When he was sitting over the rock, he told kangaroo that he had bought some pairs of roasted. Okay, so now roasted means the fine smooth yarn, the socks and the cloak to protect the kangaroo from getting cold. The sock would keep his ape-like feet dry, which is always damp, and cloak will provide him warmth. He also added he had decided to smoke a cigar, okay, so that he could keep himself warmer. He told kangaroo that since he loved him, therefore, he was already prepared with all this so that comfort would be ensured. So, in this stanza, dog replied to kangaroo. That means he is already prepared with all the solution. Okay. Now, chapter 5. Said the kangaroo, I am ready. All in the moonlight fail, but to balance me well, dear dog, sit steady. And quite at the end of my tail, so away they went with a hop and a bound, and they hopped the whole world 3 times round. And who so happy, oh who, as the dog and the kangaroo. Now, in the last stanza, the poet describes the journey covered by the dog and the kangaroo. Okay, so the kangaroo told to the dog that they would start the journey on the day with the moonlight. Kangaroo issued some advice to the dog that he would sit steady at the end of his tail in order to balance his hop properly. With all the preparations and instruction, both kangaroo and the dog went on the journey to the world. In the last stanza, they went round the whole world 3 times. Remember, they went round the whole world 3 times. In the end, the poet leaves us with a one question. Okay, now that which of the two, the dog and the kangaroo, would have been happier? Okay, so last line, as a dog or the kangaroo. So, and who so happy, oh who, as the dog and the kangaroo? The question is whether dog or the kangaroo would have been happier. Now the question is here.